Have you ever wondered what happens when the world holds its breath for a new pope? What's it like to witness the moment that shapes the future of 1.4 billion Catholics? The mystery, the drama, the faith, it's a process unlike anything else. Today, we're pulling back the curtain on how a new pope is chosen, revealing secrets that will leave you stunned. Stick around, because one truth about this ancient ritual will change how you see the Catholic Church forever. Why does this matter to you? Maybe you're a Catholic, one of Brazil's 130 million faithful, or part of the global church. Or maybe you're just fascinated by history's biggest moments. The election of a pope isn't just a Catholic event, it's a global turning point. But how does it work? What hidden forces shape who leads the church? We're diving into the Conclave, the sacred process that's been guarded for centuries, and trust me, there's a twist coming that'll make your jaw drop. Before we start, hit that like button if you're ready to be amazed, and subscribe with the bell icon so you never miss a story like this. Comment below, where are you watching from? Let's see how far this mystery reaches. The journey begins with a single question. What happens when a pope dies or steps down? The Catholic Church doesn't just pick a new leader overnight. It's a sacred, high-stakes process called the Conclave, rooted in 2,000 years of tradition. But it's not as simple as a vote. There's drama, strategy, and a touch of the divine. When a pope passes or resigns, like Pope Benedict XVI did in 2013, the Vatican enters a state called sede vacante, Latin for "the seat is empty." The world watches as the church prepares for a monumental decision. The cardinals, the church's top leaders, are summoned to Rome. These are men of faith, scholars, and shepherds from every corner of the globe: Africa, Asia, Latin America, Europe. But only those under 80 can vote, a rule set by Pope Paul VI in 1970. Today, there are about 130 eligible cardinal electors, each carrying the weight of history. Here's where it gets intense. The cardinals don't just show up and vote. They gather first in general congregations, meetings where they pray, debate, and size each other up. They're not campaigning like politicians, but they're human. They talk, they reflect. Who has the wisdom to lead? Who can bridge divides in a world of 1.4 billion Catholics? These meetings set the stage for what's to come, and they're a chance to gauge who might emerge as a frontrunner. But there's a catch. No one knows exactly what's said in these meetings. The Vatican keeps it under wraps, and that secrecy fuels curiosity. Could there be deals, factions, divine inspiration? We'll come back to that later, because one detail about these discussions will blow your mind. Let's pause for a second. If this is already pulling you in, drop a comment. What's the most surprising thing you've heard so far? Now, let's step into the heart of the process, the conclave itself. The word conclave comes from Latin, meaning with a key, because the cardinals are literally locked away. They are cut off from the world: no phones, no internet, no news. They stay in the Domus Sanctae Marthae, a modest Vatican guest house, but don't let that fool you. The real action happens in the Sistine Chapel. Picture this: 130 cardinals, dressed in red, filing into the chapel. The air is thick with anticipation. Above them, Michelangelo's frescoes remind them of God's presence. They swear an oath of secrecy, vowing to protect the process. Then, the master of ceremonies shouts, "Extra omnes," Latin for "everyone out." The doors slam shut. It's just the cardinals, their ballots, and their prayers. The voting begins. Each cardinal writes a name on a ballot, disguising their handwriting to keep it anonymous. They approach the altar, place their ballot in a chalice, and say, "I call as my witness Christ the Lord." It's a moment of profound faith. Every vote is a prayer for God's guidance. But here's where it gets wild. To win, a candidate needs 2/3 of the votes. That's no easy task with 130 voters. The ballots are counted, then burned in a special stove. If no one gets 2/3, chemicals are added to make the smoke black fumata nera. The crowd in St. Peter's Square sees it and knows, no pope yet. If a pope is chosen, the smoke is white fumata bianca and the square erupts in cheers. But what happens if the votes don't add up? The cardinals keep voting up to 4 times a day. Days can pass, tensions rise. In 2005, it took 4 ballots to elect Pope Benedict XVI. In 2013, Pope Francis needed 5, but in the past, conclaves have lasted weeks. Imagine the pressure, the prayer, the stakes. There's one rule in the conclave that could change everything, and it's tied to a moment in church history that still echoes today. What is it? We'll reveal it soon, but it's a game changer. Before we move on, let's talk about why this process feels so alive. It's not just the votates, a blend of faith and human drama. The cardinals aren't just picking a leader, they're seeking God's will. For Catholics, this is a sacred moment, like when St. Peter, the first pope, was chosen by Christ. For the world, it's a spectacle of history unfolding. So, what makes a pope? The cardinals look for wisdom, holiness, and leadership. They might choose a pastor like John Paul II, a scholar like Benedict XVI, or a reformer like Francis. But no one knows until the white smoke rises. And that secrecy is part of the magic. It keeps us guessing, praying, watching. We're about halfway through, and there's so much more to uncover. If you're hooked, hit that subscribe button and ring the bell. Which pope's election do you remember most? Let's share some memories in the comments. Now, let's loop back to that open loop from the start. I promised a truth that'll shock you. It's coming in the next part, and it's tied to a hidden dynamic in the conclave that even most Catholics don't know. But there's one more piece of the puzzle we need to explore first: the role of the Holy Spirit. For Catholics, the conclave isn't just human effort, it's guided by the Holy Spirit. Cardinals pray for discernment, believing God shapes the outcome. But does that mean every pope is divinely chosen? That's a question that sparks debate. Some say the Spirit guides every vote. Others say human flaws, politics, alliances play a role. What do you think? This tension between faith and human nature is what makes the conclave so gripping. It's not just a process, it's a story. And next, we'll explore what happens when the white smoke rises, the secrets of the Room of Tears, and that shocking truth I've been teasing. The cardinals are locked in the Sistine Chapel, voting until a candidate secures 2/3 of the votes. When white smoke signals victory, the crowd in St. Peter's Square erupts tears, prayers. But inside the Vatican, the drama is just beginning. The chosen cardinal is approached by the Dean of the College of Cardinals, who asks, "Do you accept your canonical election as Supreme Pontiff?" It's a moment of truth. Most say yes, but history whispers of hesitation. Pope Benedict XVI admitted he prayed not to be chosen in 2005. Yet, faith prevails. The new pope is led to a small sacristy called the Room of Tears. Why tears? The reality Hitchie's life is no longer his own. He's given papal vestments, a white cassock, a red cape, and the white zucchetto cap. Alone, he dresses, prays, and prepares to face the world. It's raw and human. Now, the new pope must choose a name, and that choice sends a message to the world. Will it be a nod to a saint, a past pope, or something bold? We'll reveal a name that shocked everyone. But first, let's keep moving. The pope returns to the cardinals, who pledge their obedience. Then, the senior cardinal deacon steps onto the balcony of St. Peter's Basilica and announces, "Habemus Papam," Latin for "we have a pope." He shares the pope's new name and given name. The crowd chants wildly. When Pope Francis appeared in 2013, choosing the name of St. Francis of Assisi, it signaled humility and reform. But not every announcement is smooth. In 1978, John Paul II's election sparked confusion over a misheard name. Every detail matters. If your mind is blown, drop a comment. What name would you choose as Pope? And share this video with a friend who loves history or faith. Let's spread the word. Now, the shocking truth you've been waiting for. In 1271, a conclave dragged on for nearly 3 years. Frustrated, the people of Viterbo locked the cardinals in and tore off the roof to force a decision. That's where conclave began locked with a key. Here's the kicker. This chaos led to a rule that if no pope is chosen after several ballots, the 2/3 requirement can drop to a simple majority. This rarely used rule could flip a deadlocked conclave, a secret most don't know. This matters because it shows the human side of the process. The Church trusts the Holy Spirit but adapts when needed. This balance of faith and pragmatism keeps the conclave alive. That rule is a wild card for future elections. Catholics believe the Holy Spirit guides the conclave, inspiring votes. But human dynamics culture, geography, friendships play a role. Pope Francis, an Argentine, broke centuries of European dominance in 2013. Was it divine will or a shift in global Catholicism? Maybe both. What do you think? This tension makes the conclave compelling a dance of faith and strategy. When the new pope speaks saying Urbi et Orbi to the city and the world, his words echo across continents. For Catholics, it's hope. For the world, it's a new chapter. One pope's election sparked a controversy that still divides the church, tied to a name and a vision that shook tradition. Stick with us for future videos to dive deeper. Let's reflect. The conclave is a story of faith, sacrifice, and history connecting St. Peter, chosen by Christ, to every pope. Whether you're a Catholic or not, it's a reminder of how one decision can change the world. Could a single vote shape your life? We've uncovered the conclave secrets, from the Sistine Chapel to the Room of Tears. If this blew your mind, hit that subscribe button and ring the bell for more stories. Comment what part of this process hit you hardest. Let's keep the conversation going. As the new pope blesses the crowd, the world watches, prays, and hopes. The conclave is over, but its impact lasts a lifetime. Will the next pope be a pastor, a scholar, or a surprise like Francis? Only time and the Holy Spirit will tell. Thanks for joining us. Share this video, like it, and don't forget to leave your comment.